your goal should be to find your perfect, your natural body weight. That should be your goal. Not to have less than that, not to have more than that, but to find that natural body weight of yours. Then go out there and explore and try different things, because at the end of the day, you want to be healthy and fit. Like, why do we care what the scale says? We want to feel energetic. We want to feel strong. We want to feel good in our pants. Hey there, NAC Warrior. How's it going? So today we have the question. Let's see, what's the question? How would you help someone who is afraid of making a mistake when losing weight or choosing a program? That's a very good question. But you already know the answer to this. How do I know that? Because have you ever had the experience where you've done something, like you've gone through a traumatic experience, something in your life that you have done already, that may have been scary at first? Maybe it was your first kiss. Maybe it was, your first date. Maybe it was your first kid. Maybe it was changing your first diaper. Whatever it was, like there was that first, maybe your wedding day. All these things are like experiences that people get afraid of. Maybe it's their first job. Maybe it's the first day of school. For kids, maybe it's like, there's a monster in the room or whatever. But because you've gone through the experience, that there's really nothing to be afraid of, right? You know that there's nothing that they need. Like if they came to you for advice, you wish you could just crawl in their brain, remove that fear, because it's not real. It's fabricated. It's made up. And so how do we handle that? Because I can admit, like even me, when I've done some experiences, there are times when I'm scared to do something still. And I've just learned to embrace that resistance, that scaredness, as I've made it a trigger point of saying, ooh, here's opportunity, not something to back away from. It's not that I'm not scared still of what may happen. I guess we call that brave. Like you still do it even though you're afraid, you still do it anyways, right? And that's what bravery is. And so I become brave in these things that I try and do. And so how do we get others to be brave? And when it comes to health and fitness, what you need are, you need confidence. So the fact that you're scared means you're not confident about something, which means that there's opportunity to grow. And I think that's where people are afraid, is that they want a result and they're afraid of letting themselves down. And I think one of the biggest things I had to let go of to really make a difference, and this is like everything, like the more you let something go, the more you will get that of which you want. What I mean is, like, for instance, if I don't worry about, when I was in my career, when I stopped worrying about money, like trying to get money, which is easy to say than to actually do, but the moment I gave up looking for money and focused on the skills that I wanted to learn going to my job, like what is it in my professional, as a human, what were the skills that I wanted to learn, what role out there was available for me to practice those skills and challenge myself. Once I did that and I started gaining these skills, money came. Like I never had to ask for a raise. I naturally just started climbing up the ladder, and the money came. Like I didn't have to think about it. I let that part go and said, let me focus on something else. Same with losing weight. If you let go of the fact of trying to lose weight and be okay with, like, for instance, if I took a position and it was lower in pay, which they never would do because they would think that would be bad for incentive, like I wouldn't have been offended. Like it wouldn't bother me because I knew the skills that I was getting in the long run was more important than what I was getting in the short run. Again, getting to that point is very hard. And same with losing weight. Like, you have to be okay with gaining weight. You have to be okay with losing weight. Like, your goal should be to find your perfect your natural body weight. That should be your goal. Not to have less than that, not to have more than that, but to find that natural body weight of yours. Then go out there and explore and try different things, because at the end of the day, you want to be healthy and fit. Like, why do we care what the scale says? We want to feel energetic. We want to feel strong. We want to feel good in our pants. You know, why does it, if everybody in the world, and this is why Hollywood is bad, if everybody in the world walked around with size 30s or whatever, and we all had the same, like, girth in our bellies, and nobody was skinnier, nobody was fatter, what would we measure life by? Would we measure it by the scale? No, the scale would disappear. We wouldn't care about the scale. We would care about how we feel when we wake up. And so if we can get to that point and just have rules set in place to know, like, we're getting too far away from our natural body weight, then we can go out there and explore. And if we focus more on exploring and having fun than thinking about how much I weigh and all that, then you'll start losing the weight that you need to lose, because you're focused more on the process, not the result. And the where you're gaining everything is in the process. So you gotta have fun with being okay with making a mistake and gaining weight. Like, just go out there. If you're overweight, what's an extra few pounds? Like, unless it's gonna throw you in a medical bad state, what's an extra few pounds to try it out and say, ooh, that didn't work. But there was this one aspect of this that I liked, so I'm gonna keep that. And then you keep that one little thing, and then you let go of everything else and go back to your natural way that you were doing it before that program, except for this one little thing, this 1% thing that you changed. Then you go try something else, right? Or you keep at what you were doing until you get back to where you were. Actually, you probably will improve just slightly because of that 1%. And then you go try something else, right? And then next thing you know, you got 2%, then 3%, then 4%, and 5%. You see where I'm going with that. And that, to me, is where the magic is. When you get to that point where you can feel okay with making a mistake, but you have to be brave. And again, this is why why I've created the program, Awakening Your Inner Warrior, so that you can figure out how to get to that point. Like, there's 4 phases that I try to get everybody into in our family. Our family goes out there, and our mission for each other is to get to the 4th and 3rd phase of health and fitness. The first one is understanding the foundation, awakening your inner warrior. The second one is learning about who you are and what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and just getting started. Then the 3rd phase is to actually understand, go out there and explore and find new ways to fit you and try to mix it up and have fun. And then the last phase is to educate, to help our family grow together. So I'll go out there and do a program like eccentric contraction or ECP program and experiment on it and then let other people know. Then those who feel like they can relate with me, who feel like they're in the sort of the same box, maybe not the same path as me, but close enough, they may try that out. And that might be different for somebody else, right? Somebody else may be on a path that's relatable to you, so you teach them. And then you start going through phase 3 and 4 over and over again. Try something new, go educate people. Try something new, educate people. See what somebody else does, try it out for yourself, educate people. And we're just going through this and we're having fun. And then, like, magic happens. Because we're not so focused so much on the weight. I mean, it's an aspect, don't get me wrong. We're not like not neglecting it. We have rules. Like for me, 5 pounds is my rule. Here's my natural body weight, 5 pounds more. I stop and say this isn't working, and I go back to what I was doing before. If I get too low, if I get too low, 5 pounds too low, I stop what I'm doing and I go back. And then I try to keep myself in this range. And if I get bored and I try something else, and that's the thing, is I never get bored. And I think that's important for people to understand when they're going out there and trying to make a difference in their health and fitness. So my advice to you would be, if you are afraid and you don't know how to get brave yet, come join our Facebook group, NAC Warriors. Get the support that you need there. That family is awesome. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased, because I am biased, but it is awesome and it's growing. And then join our first program, which is Awakening Your Inner Warrior, and you'll see that like what I just said, you become brave. You can step out there and be like, yes, okay, I feel good about myself. And if not, this is my pledge to everybody who starts the NAC Warrior program, or Awakening the Inner Warrior, is to like get you there. Like, I'll do whatever it takes within means to get you to where you're brave, so that you can go from phase 1 of foundation to where you're exploring and educating and doing that. And I think if you got to that point, then the rest of this, and then you're going to go see somebody else struggling, and they're going to be in the same position as you were, and you're going to be like, oh, you know what you need to do? You need to go get that program and do this program called Awakening Your Inner Warrior, because I've been where you were. Going through this program is awesome. And you know who you should follow is, you should follow blah 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 in there, and go check out the library, and you can help them. Like, you can help them through the program and be their educator, and then you'll know the family, and you'll be like, oh, you got to go follow this person because I think they fit you, and you should see what they did, ask them questions. Like, you become their guide on their journey. And when you start contributing and all that stuff, it like just so much amazing stuff happens. And this is what gets me fired up, right? I've been on the journey. Now I want to take others on this journey to get them to the spot where ultimately they are going out there, exploring, having fun, educating. We're educating each other. We're raising and pushing each other up and up and up every day. And it's just an awesome feeling. It's just so cool. And I can't even explain it. You have to go and experience it yourself. So join our Facebook group, NAC Warriors, and I'll see you in there. You got to join. All right. See you next time.